Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic. I just got a new computer today. It was getting pretty rough with that old computer. If you're a watcher of the videos, you can see, so I was starting to do some on my phone, and then my microphone wasn't doing a very good job of staying plugged in. And I had recorded a whole podcast, and half the audio was gone by the time I finished, because the plug issue and the microphone not... It's just things get old in technology now. You know, when they make stuff, and oh, by the way, I still think we're all psychic. You know, when they made stuff long ago, it kind of seems like it lasted forever. I don't know what the difference is, but I know microchips are, you know, they can melt or something. They melt easily, right? Maybe that's what it is. But this computer has an M4 Pro. It's an Apple. It's like the camera. I mean, look at this. I don't know if this is going to come out the same once it's rendered and mixed and everything. But everything is so just clear, and I'm like, whoa, look at that. Look at me. Oh, my eyes are red. They always are because of allergies. And I can show you the new microphone, the replacement. Yes, I love these for podcasting, but I got the white one, and they have a better version than the one I used to use, so I'm using this one. Thanksgiving just happened. It is November 30th? Wait a minute. I'm not, yeesh. No, I think it's December 1st. I'm not really sure what today is. It is a Saturday after Thanksgiving in 2024. I'm just doing a podcast to play with my microphone and computer. And I've had some thoughts lately. I've asked a couple people if they might want to do a podcast talking about this. And if anyone wants to, hit me up. This will probably be pretty short if it's just me talking about it right now. But I've always had a curiosity about how some people can see, like as a psychic or an intuitive of any kind, and they have a vision of something, or they get an insight into something, and maybe they get information that comes in, or any kind of psychic sense, energetic sense of something else is not about them, and they get the energy of it, they know something. Some people, it seems like, really see the dangerous stuff and the scary stuff, and they get the warnings, the omens of warnings for people, and some people don't. And I was thinking, you know, for some of the people who, like one person I know, she's great. Heard me talk about her, Megan Scrycat. She can scribe any picture, but if it's just thrown up in her face, she's forced to scry it. And she says, you know, so most of the time she does see the really sad, hard things that people go through and experienced, and how dark some of the souls can be to make them go through that in the pictures and feel all of that. And then she sees something beautiful. Like she saw something beautiful in some picture I sent her, and she started crying. And she never cried when she saw the horrible stuff. She just got really freaked out and like bothered, of course, because it's disturbing. And I was thinking, for me, you know, like when I usually see the really good stuff, the really positives, what can happen on a good note. That's just something that's natural for me to see. So if I see something that's horrific, that's when I would cry, you know, like, whoa, that person went through what? And it's like something is blocked, or I won't, I don't know. It's like I'm so protected from getting that whole bad information. Is that what's happening? What's happening? Why is it that some people can be middle of the road, you know, see good and bad both? I wonder what that is about. I wonder if that is some kind of state of mind, or if that has something to do with like the kinds of souls we are, or maybe I don't know if it can change. I don't know, because it's something that can change, not seeing the dangers and then later starting to see the dangers all the time. Like I've just never really been very good about seeing the dangers. I can sense something a little off. And I'll usually follow that if it leads to me getting in a car with someone or something like that. And of course I feel like I can, not always, but I can pick up the people who are just like, stay away. And what they feel like to me is that I'm a target. Like I'm a deer in the headlights. And I think I've said this on the podcast before, but if someone targets me energetically or physically, with something to prove or something to get from me, I will just play dumb. Like, I will be the stupidest. I'm not smart anyway, but I'm really good at playing dumb. And I'll just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Half the time I don't, because they're being weird and, they're trying to, get a reaction out of me. And I don't understand why people do that. So my reaction is really dumb. And if you're boring, they're not going to keep an interest in you usually. So I try to stay very boring. And I'm pretty boring. I mean, I'm doing a podcast by myself right now, talking about these different points of view for different kinds of ways people experience working with energy in a divination sense, or in a sense of doing readings for other people, or maybe even just tapping into that global sense that something's coming, an earthquake or a war or something like that. I always felt I was more of a community kind of. I can sense things in communities I'm in, but not so much to global. Maybe it's just a limitation I've given myself. I'll have to think about that. I just kind of popped into my head. Oh, a limitation to break. Yay. So yeah, I'm doing this little podcast by myself, and Nichelle's probably going to join me later on tonight, maybe a little later, and we might do a podcast. If Misty pops out of nowhere, she might join us too. I think she's driving Mom back to Louisiana today, though. So anyway, if any of you have any ideas what this might be about, why do some people see the more peaceful or the more like optimistic sides of what might come, or what might be, or what might dwell within someone? And why do some people see the more pessimistic, the more damaging and destructive? Like, some of us see the creative sides, and some of us see the destructive sides of what's going on in people, or both. But it seems to me there's always leaning one way or the other. So I'd love to hear anyone who wants to talk about that. You can drop comments. You can send me emails I'll read them on the podcast. And if you don't want to talk, you can record something and send it to me, and I'll play it. I'd love to have a guest too. Any strangers, we love them. We love strangers, and we love all our past guests coming back. So I hope everybody's doing really well, and I hope this podcast entertained you for a little blippity blip for a minute, so I could play with my new stuff. And I do have a podcast plan to make for you, but I got to get it all just right. I'm going to teach you, like, a lot of people ask, how do you get successful in this field as a coach or a reader? I'll give you like some tips on that. And probably I'll be doing that podcast by myself, but a few things I want to get ready for that. So anyway, listeners, I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths to get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. I'm an advisor on Everclear under the name Lisa P, Leesa P. I love working with your energetic sides. If you ever want to get a reading from me on there, the website to the podcast is www. Someday in the future, there's going to be too many W's, so they're going to keep on adding W's. We'reAllPsychic.com, and I'm going to have that URL because I'm going to live forever. I think we'll have something other than computers by then. I think we'll all be plugged into each other, maybe. Wouldn't that be kind of crazy? I don't know what's going to happen. It's all crazy and fast. Well, that's a little off topic, but why not? That's how I usually do on this. And I don't mean to do that. I don't mean to go off on tangents sometimes. But it's just the way it goes sometimes. And it's kind of interesting where the guests will follow. They almost all do, or they will go somewhere new too, and that's always really fun. So if you want to be a guest, please, LISA at We'reAllPsychic.com, or go to the website and fill out the contact form. We have some people lined up in December, and we have some other stuff planned, but we always want people, especially if you're just starting out, or you want to teach something, or you're new, and you want to ask us something, maybe. I don't know. I mean, just anything. Everybody have a wonderful time in the Sagittarius season. We got a new moon, I think, sometime coming up. Maybe it's today. I don't know. It might be. Everybody have a wonderful time wherever you may be. And listeners and watchers, I love you. Peace out.